I'm not trying to be bleak or anything here, but speaking of these divorced older women, older past the age of 30, 40, 50, who have high expectations, like a 21-year-old single woman who's never had a child and weighs 120 pounds. These women, by having these high expectations, they're really shooting themselves in the foot more than anybody else. I mean, in reality, we all have to face reality in life, men and women. A vase that's broken can be put back together and glued, but will it ever be the same? We all have to accept, and women included, they are not accepted. We all have to accept that when you're already married and you got divorced and you got children and everything, you cannot act like everything is fresh again and start over and have the same expectations as a 21-year-old girl. You just cannot do that. The problem is these women, especially in the United States and the West, are trying to defy reality. Their stance is, and not all of them, I want to stress, not all of them, because there are good ones out there. There are sane ones out there. They're in the extreme minority, but they do exist. But going back to what I was talking about, the stance of these women is, I can have it all. I can have be 44 years old, 45 years old, divorced with multiple kids, and I can still have not only have a boyfriend and a man who wants to marry me, but have the ideal man that has all the things that I'm looking for. And we all know, if we've been anywhere near the dating world, that the checklist is high, long and high of these women. The expectations are high. They want him to be a certain height. They want him to have not any exes, preferably not any children. They want him to make a certain amount of money. They want him to have his own home, have a great credit, have insurance on everything, including his life. All the perfect, without blemished record, and they feel that they deserve it. And they truly, like I discussed in other videos, they truly consider themselves a catch. So that justifies their high expectation. Arthur Schopenhauer says, while it's difficult, I'm paraphrasing, while it is very difficult to find happiness within oneself, it is impossible to find happiness elsewhere. And he's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. And these women are trying to find happiness elsewhere. They are trying to find happiness in a knight in shining armor who, for some miraculous reason, is going to pick them over all the other options that he has. If the man that meets your checklist is available, is existing, why on earth would he want to be with you? Would he not want to be with someone young, someone without children, someone without baggage, someone without exes, someone without an alcohol and at times a money problem, and all the bitterness that comes with someone who's been divorced and jaded and dated and discarded a lot of men, has been discarded actually by a lot of men. If these women were in the place of that man, would they want to opt for the damaged good, for lack of a better term, or someone fresh who has a much higher chance of being baggage light or baggage free? So the best analogy, honestly, I can come up with when it comes to these women is a broken vase that's been glued back together. And this is not in any way, shape, or form disparaging women. I really, none of my videos are meant to do that, because I know for fact, and I can testify to you, that there are good women out there. You're probably not going to find them, or at least I should say it's much more difficult to find them in the West, because women in the West, born and raised here, they are a product of their surrounding, and they are a product of what other people are and what the society here is like and what their other girlfriends are like and what the media is telling them and what the courts are telling them. So chance of you finding a woman that is part of that 1.5% in the West is much lower. Whereas if you go other parts of the world, thank God there are still women that are normal, with normal expectations. They could look 10 times better, be much younger, but much thinner, and do not have 1/10 of the expectations that these angry, older, bitter, delusional women have. I am sorry, but these adjectives I use are reserved for those that belong in that category. Not all of them, but the great majority of them. And if you have any doubts of who I'm talking about, just go to these dating sites. Go to these dating sites and listen to these women and their expectations. Look how they pride themselves on swiping left, or see them complain on such ridiculous mediums like TikTok about how difficult it is for them to get a date, how terrible men are, how substandard are, how overweight loser these guys are, and how dare they even dream that they could go out with some great woman like her with 3 kids and a career. This is what they're most proud of, their career, their job, as though that is something that is on our radar when we're looking for a woman. Oh yeah, she's overweight, she's got 3 kids, she's got an alcohol problem, her attitude sucks, she's unpleasant to be around. Oh, but she's got a good job. No, ladies, it doesn't work that way. All the best to the next video.